What did you mean?
Merely dumb violence for its own sake.
What does that mean?
For a seer, where I come from, every fighter must be able to ride a horse and take care of its injuries and illnesses. In addition, he should also be able to hold his own when fighting with a spear and a sword. And of course, excel in archery. And above all, he must not be a coward, but on the contrary, an honorable man.
What's that Chogan then?
A riding game. Very hard and dangerous. Two teams of riders with wooden mallets try to get a leather ball into the opponent's goal. Whoever does so more times wins.
And what's so dangerous about that?
When the mallet lands on your head. In any case, nothing teaches you how to ride a horse better than Shogun.
Furusia sounds to me like the chivalry of every good knight. Maybe with the exception of that horse medicine of yours.
Really?
But a good Christian knight should also know how to dance, play chess, and write poetry.
Very interesting. It is a pity. I have not met many like that. Those are all true wisdoms. Also in the name of Allah.
You have a kind master, eh, Mutt?
Look what I have for you.
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Hey! Stop messing about with that weapon before you hurt someone!
What will it be, sir?
You're a Cuman, aren't you? Where'd you learn our language so well?
I used to accompany merchants who rode from here up north to Germany. I earned some good money and picked up a lot of it along the way.
And why'd you stop?
Those merchants sold goods they came by, well, dishonestly. And they got found out eventually, but I got lucky in the end. I'm good with a bow, so they gave me a choice. The gallows or the army. It wasn't a hard choice.
Can I ask you something?
You complain?
What?
Oh, Mishtenam. I chief of soldiers, and I hear only complain and more complain. Always. They kill hands, they scare children, horse trample cabbage and eat carrot. This country full of complaining and whining.
I'm not complaining about anything.
That good. You real man.
Hey, you're not allowed here.
Oh, it's just you, eh? What does that book want over here? Call off that dog!
What is it?
Heel!
Are you whistling just for fun?
Quiet! Go away! That's more like it!
Search.
That mangy mutt!
That we may be made worthy.
Greetings.
What's a priest doing?
Whatever he can, my...
Do you serve mass?
I serve mass, and I can also officiate at marriages. I reckon you can guess which is more common here.
Do you care for the...
Nothing like that. And if something happens to the nobles, we have good surgeons. And then there's that learned foreigner. Bah!
Who's the foreigner?
His name is Musa, and he says he comes ex-Africa. You can't miss him. He's as different from us as a man can be.
Does something seem strange about him to you?
That foreigner may understand medicine, but he worships a foreign god. He prays to him on the ground several times a day. He doesn't drink ale, only rarely eats meat, yet he can't keep his eyes off our women.
Do you take part in the fighting?
Vivere militare est, but no matter if you're a beggar or a lord. And in a place like this, it's easy for people to forget about God.
Do you serve...
I serve our Lord, but the king sometimes calls on me for confession.
What could the king possibly have to confess?
You don't actually expect that's between me. God be with you.
I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
How can I help you?
What do you...
I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir.
Greetings, my friend.
I saw the arena and the stands and thought to myself, this looks like a tournament, eh?
You're too late, lad. There used to be competitions here almost every day. But that's been over for quite... All you can do now is a bit of archery.
Why'd they ban it?
Captain von Howlitz and Lord von Berghoff heard blokes with...
You fought with sharp...
Of course not. That was forbidden. But the Cuman...
So what happened then?
One of our companies went against the Cumans. It was a fight like any other. But those fuckers had a score to settle with us and brought sharp weapons. Our fellas came away from there in bad shape. Most of them never recovered. And then Command banned the fights.
So that's it then? No more tournaments?
Aye, probably. Because that wasn't the first cock-up. Cumans, Germans, Praguers, they all hate each other. But without the tournaments and betting, the blokes don't have anything to do anymore. And they're starting to get testy. Now their camp is starting to look more and more like a wasp's nest. But you'll see for yourself soon enough.
So there won't be any fighting?
See you soon, my friend.
What can you do, sir? Maybe next time, then. Thank you, sir. And come again. I hope you... find what you're looking for next time, good sir.
Menjél! Takarodj!
I must tell you something.
It's sharp. Heads fly. What more? Give it there. Who are you?
My name is Henry, and I'm talking about the swords you have hidden in the tent. Let's just say that if you don't watch out...
Is that a threat?
No.
Mio pokol foikit. Say...
In Bohemia, we have...
Fossum.
A certain Thomas of Colleen wanted me to steal that sword from you.
Shekfei. The strange one who watch? I knew he planned something. All's I'll do yet.
I was supposed to leave a replica in your tent so you wouldn't notice.
Friend Ben.
It occurred to me that we could make... You show me your sword, I'll make a replica, and bring it to Thomas and...
And we split money.
Fine. A quarter, then. That should be enough, eh?
You'll Hongzik. You do more, so get more. I accept. Good. With me come. I show sword. It is here. The Upsol. No good. You can make same, yes?
Well, it won't be easy, but I can do it.
Then go do.
Greetings.
You do not know who I am? Have you...
Nothing. I just wanted to talk to you.
You and half the camp. I don't have time for you, peasant.
Sorry.
Then do not. Excuse me.
Greetings to you.
Christ, what a day.
I'm new to the... If you don't have to...
Well, at least I can practice your language, but that does not... So, as you have no doubt realized, this is my infirmary. One part for operating on the wounded, another for the sick, my alchemist bench, a tub of water. Nothing out of the ordinary. Come on. Let us walk outside. I am sorry that I cannot show you more, but I am sure you understand that there is not much to see. One is almost ashamed to call it an infirmary. Do you not think?
That's true. I thought King Sigismund would take better care of his wounded men.
Unfortunately for them, my friend, I suppose he has bigger problems than keeping his army healthy and fighting fit.
It's lucky he sent an expert like you here, though.
Was that praise or an insult? I cannot tell. I do not think it fortunate in any case. Someone with my knowledge. All I do is treat diarrhea and broken bones. Are you still there, my friend? You are silent for some reason. This part of the camp is mainly for humans. So if you are looking for one, he will be either here or near the bathhouse. We will take a look there too. Do not worry. Over there is the pen where they used to have tournaments, until the captains banned them. But that is a long story. Speaking of the captains here, do you know who's in charge overall? You prefer listening to speaking. All right. But a little polite conversation would do you no harm.
You silly doggy.
over there is our bathhouse. It is not a sight for sore eyes, my friend. I mean, the women, of course. Not this filthy place. A man should keep reminding himself that zina, what you call fornication, is a shameful deed, opening the road to other evils. By the way, what about you and women, my friend?
Nah, women and me don't go together.
Moderation and self-denial are certainly
happens.
virtues.
Just watch where
As
you're
a physician,
going
I
next time.
advise you not to spend your whole life alone. You should find a good woman as soon as possible, and then marry her, and to do her what you see in her eyes. Our Lord Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, creates us in pairs and grants us love in our hearts, so that we may love another.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. Sometimes think I ought to settle down.
Do it. It is definitely a nicer life than in such a camp as this. Imagine a roof over your head instead of a leaking tent, food cooked with love instead of a gruel cooked on a campfire, and at night. So, in this part of the camp, you see the tents of various mercenaries from Germany, Poland, Hungary. In short, everyone who came to fill their pockets. You can have items repaired by the smith, and if you're hungry, the kitchen is over there. The food will please you more than me, I think, treating meat in that way. I simply cannot eat it. Do you know where the food is truly great? In Granada.
I'm sorry.
So much fruit, sweet pastries, fish. In one banquet, the cooks use more spices than your entire country in a year.
You've been to Granada?
In the court of Sultan Muhammad VII himself. That is where I became a physician.
to you.
That was when Granada was attacked by Martin Yanez de la Barbuda. And I did not want to die in some battle. So I found a safer way to be useful. You know, I have done a lot of traveling, my friend.
Good boy.
From Timbuktu to Mecca. And
It
from
happens.
Granada to Venice.
Just watch where you're
And
going
now,
next time.
here. But nowhere has the food been worse than here.
I'd like to try some foreign delicacy.
That will be difficult. The local inns serve nothing but porridge and old bread. But maybe you will see the world one day and find out that there are more flavors than just salt and honey. But your country is beautiful, all the same. And up here is where Katz's company of Parge artillerymen are billeted, to the great displeasure of everyone else in the camp. I must say, you can see why. It is the best spot, right next to the captains. And when it rains, all the filth runs downhill to the Cumans and mercenaries areas. Here is the pillory. May Allah, the compassionate, ensure you never end up in it. And if you go around the hill, you will come to the camp shooting range. I recommend visiting it. The Cumans must be born with a bow in their hands. But I will not escort you that far, my friend. I do not like to leave the infirmary unattended for long. Alaka Anben.
Get out of here, mutt.
Come
No one
here.
wants to hear your barking. Such a naughty dog.
Look what I have for you. It's like I'm invisible or something.
I hear you like to...
What game would you like?
I actually...
It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Gifeli!
Good afternoon.
I'd like to use
And what?
10 to...
Or
Let's...
certain. One.
I bandaged that wound for you, sir. It happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
God bless.
Harvest.
You there, lad! Aren't you here for the requisitioning?
What about it?
I need to requisition supplies for the camp from the locals. Grub for us, fodder for the horses.
Where do you want to get the supplies?
We haven't been to Bohunjabits in a while. I reckon they can't wait to see us.
Who's coming along?
Me, and they usually send some humans along because people are afraid of them.
That's not much.
And that's why you're coming with me. But don't worry, I already sent a couple of blokes ahead to get everything ready.
I don't need to hear...
I'm glad to hear it. Come back tomorrow. The suit...
God bless you.
Greetings. It
Excuse me.
happens. Just watch where you're going next time.
Prancing around in new clothes and can afford meat. How cool, God.
I am the handmaid of the
Hell,
Lord.
does he have to test
Be
me
it
with
done
dice?
unto me.
Hey there, youngster. It's good to see you again.
Likewise. What can I do for you?
If you lend me a little time and a listening ear, I have another riddle for you. What do you say? Happenstance.
So, what's it going to be this...
If you can spare a while, I have another riddle. A harder You didn't get it right last time, but if you give it another go, the win will be all the sweeter. Let's bet on it. Winner takes all. Interested?
Why not?
Listen, once upon a time there was a fool of a farmer. Family he had none, no stable boys either. So he talked to his animals instead. And, good man that he was, whenever he made a groschen or two, he shared it with them according to his own rules. Every hen in the coop was paid 5 groschen. Every bee in the hive, 15. And the spider in the loft bagged a full 20 groschen. And now you tell me, how much did the cat get?
Tell me the riddle again.
Once upon a time, there was a fool of a farmer. Family he had none, no stable boys either. So he talked to his animals instead. And, good man that he was, whenever he made a groschen or two, he shared it with them according to his own rules. Every hen in the coop was paid 5 groschen. Every bee in the hive, 15. And the spider in the loft bagged a full 20 groschen. And now you tell me, how much did the cat get?
$25 groschen.
No, but don't dismay.
I think I'll...
God be with... What are you doing, you whistler? Careful!
Good day to you.
Is there something interesting around here?
You mean besides the army camp on the hill?
Something tells me you're not exactly happy about it.
What can I tell you? As soon as the army appeared in the county, the folk of Apatovitz were doomed.
What do you mean?
It used to be a peaceful village. Everyone minding their own business, helping each other. And have you seen what it looks like now?
I just saw remains of an abandoned village. It wasn't a pretty sight.
Exactly. A deserted and empty place, with a burnt-out ruin where there used to be a cottage. It'd make you cry.
Who's responsible for the burned-out cottage in Apatovitz?
Devil only knows. Maybe bandits or some other rabble. Maybe they were looking for something valuable. Or they wanted to take it by force.
The soldier...
There was no attack. People just chose to leave on their own, but it's probably better than waiting for someone to come and take it.
And why do you stay here?
I live away from the village, so I was spared the ugliness.
So you were lucky, weren't you?
You think? That one camp pillaged the whole county. They cut down a big chunk of the forest to build and to feed all those hungry mouths. They hunted down everything that moved. There's no game left. There used to be deer, wild boar and hares. So many you couldn't count them all. And now, nothing.
I think I'll go back to Apatovitz. Should I watch out for anything in particular?
I wouldn't do that if I were you. Who knows what kind of rabble has taken up residence in those ruins?
Who lived in the house that burned down?
That's probably the saddest thing of all. The young married couple. They didn't have much. I really hope they've gone someplace safe.
Who lived there before?
You bet I did. There was an old man. We called him Honeypot. Everyone used to buy honey from him, but few knew that he made the best mead far and wide. Damn.
You're right.
That's right. Farewell.
Go!
Ka! 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 Ka!
Whoa!
What are you doing here?
Good doggy. Good boy.
Whoa!
Ka!
Here, Mutt. Go!
Ka!
Servus, guter Mann. What can I do for...
We know each other, don't we? We met at Trotsky.
Oh ja, du hast recht. You are Henry, Lord Capen's man. Seltsamer Zufall. The last time I saw you, we were ambushed in that fucking ravine.
You survived the attack. A lot of people didn't make it out of there.
Genau. Wirklich terrible it was, but I survived. With a bruise or two and a concussion. Unfortunately, the other fellows I was with were not so lucky. Now our village has only sorrowful mothers, widows und Waisen.
Where are you headed now?
Duty calls, for I am still the magistrate in unserem Dorf.
And your lord is still Otto von Berghoff?
Ja, natürlich. And that verdammte tragedy of Nabokov has me busy dealing with the inheritance left by the poor souls who fell there.
It sounds urgent. If you have to deal with it when the gravediggers barely buried the last of them.
Well, there is no one to do it for me. The scribe is crippled, and both of my servants are dead. And worse, I can forget about riding for a while. That bastard who knocked me down broke 2 of my ribs. Ja, diese verdammte Schlucht. Und was ist mit dir, Mann? I heard they hounded you through the woods like vermin. Von Bergo has got it in for you, they say. Is that true?
That was just a misunderstanding. Istvan Toth was behind it all. He was working for von Berghoff as a spy.
I heard about him, but only that he fell out of a window. The same night you disappeared from the castle.
The truth is, he didn't fall out the window. I killed him. Istvan had a lot of deaths on his conscience. He was a vile rat. A monster of a man.
Maybe so. Maybe not. Truth be told, he was a slimy snake for not warning Herr Otto about the ambush. I lost many good men there. And perhaps the blame lies with him. Schön. I will pretend I heard nothing, and we can go our separate ways. Mögen sich unsere Wege hiermit trennen. Careful!
Calm down. Surely there's a reasonable explanation for this. Good day to you. Till we meet again.
Such a shame.
What did you ever do to anyone?
What happened here?
Something killed the villagers' cattle.
You think it was wolves?
That's what I think. Just so you're aware, there's an abandoned mine not far from here where miners supposedly dug so deep they struck a gate to hell.
Wait, you mean a real gate to hell?
The locals believe it. In fact, they even started the custom of bringing offerings in hopes of pacifying hell and keeping the devils below ground.
Did it work?
How could it possibly work? The whole lot of it's a fabrication. And what makes it even more tragic is that it was the former priest, Father Richard's notion. Can you believe it? A priest coming up with such heresy. I simply won't allow it.
What about the priest before you? He's not around anymore?
No, he's not. Old Father Richard passed on, and now I serve here in his place. I pray that the good Lord welcomed him to his bosom, despite all the heresy he committed here.
Is there really a pit to hell in the mine? What does it look like?
It's just a normal mine gallery. At least it was, until a cave-in happened a few years back. The mine was closed immediately after. Some say it was because of the cave-in, others because the vein ran dry. But the locals are convinced it's because a gate to hell opened there. Just a lot of gossip.
How can I help you?
I can only think of one way, and that's to go directly to the mine and uncover the truth behind these stories.
You want me to go to the pit of hell?
Don't tell me you put stock in those old wives' tales. But because the locals do, you'll have to go to the mine the same way they did, with a bit of food as an offering. You'll place it there, just as they did, and wait for something to happen. Meanwhile, I'll go to the nearby tavern, find a few brave fellows, and we'll scour the area. Then, we'll all meet up by the mine. What do you say?
Sounds like a...
Here, take some food as an offering. I'll go and gather the men, and as soon as we're all ready, we'll meet you at the mine.
And where can I find...
You go west from the village. God be with you. Till we meet again.
How are your knees?
What? God be
Feeling
with
better?
you, good man.
Oh, yes.
I see you're a fellow traveler. Want to warm your bones a bit?
Why's a scholar like yourself trudging to hell and back?
Because it would be hypocritical of me not to set foot outside the university's confines. Homo sumet inter homines vivo.
I spent some time in a monastery. I know homo means man, but that's about it.
One must accept one's role in this world, and not everyone is privileged to be educated.
Aye, but when lords fight, it's the ordinary folks that suffer. They're unhappy with the war.
They must have faith in divine law and the Holy Church, and must not succumb to any charlatanism which only leads them astray. In fact, this is why I must now travel to Prague, where a truly arduous challenge awaits me.
What? There's fighting in Prague?
Fierce fighting et ad nauseam, but probably not like you think, young man.
So I'm to understand that Prague has finally stood up to Sigismund?
No, not that. Our university is waging a much more important war. Ours is a battle for divine truth, lad. Hoc illud est quod est.
Are you from Prague?
I am Andreas de Broda, theological doctor at the University of Prague, young man.
So you must know... what's his name? Jan Hus, right?
God in heaven! How that damn Wycliffeite has made a name for himself. Yet his sermons, railing against a corrupt church, are but a barrage of deaf manipulations for simpletons.
Do you really think so, Master?
But we shall put an end to his nonsense before long.
I thought Jan Hus was preaching righteously against the corruption of the church.
How could a boy like you possibly know of any wickedness within the church? Do you know your Bible? Who are you to tell me where God's truth lies? Temeritas est damnare, quod non escias.
I once stood in for a drunk parish priest.
Lord, why do you punish us so? What sinner was that?
A friend. A good man. I wouldn't want to harm him.
Well, to each his own. It's not for the Emperor to command the Church, nor for the common folk to interpret the Bible as they please. But this Hus will get his comeuppance. You'll see.
Would it offend you to play?
Not in the slightest. And dice are only sinful if one plays for the money and not for the pleasure of the game itself. Let's play. What game would you like to play?
Courteous from me.
Let's play.
I'm really surprised you challenged me. I don't like to lose.
Even a fool gets lucky sometime. That's
My
good too,
God,
but you
I'm
could throw
done.
better. See, you can do it. Keep it up.
The
I've seen
dice are
people play
falling
better,
my way
but
today.
never worse.
That's
Oh,
as far as I
We
go.
didn't have such
It's
dice
yours.
when I was young. We shaped them out of clay and played with them. And they were rounded and didn't have any numbers on them. You have to have a bit of sense and count the dice.
Here.
If
Finished.
this doesn't start to get
Your
interesting,
turn.
I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Have you lost your mind? You're going to lose everything. Well, you're not afraid of anything. Let it be now. I want to play too, you know?
I've seen people play better, but never worse.
Here. Damn it, I'm so
That's
fucked.
how it's done. That's the way, or... Wait, who threw that?
Now what's you gooch?
Look what I have for you.
Ka!
Whoa! Jesus Christ be praised. Tell me something.
Holohlavi. It's a...
I've never been there.
It doesn't matter.
That long?
I'd rather not get into it.
Look, everyone's been through something they'd rather not talk about.
You wouldn't understand.
Oh.
Sorry, Actually, it's stupid.
And?
See? You don't understand. Otmar is older, so when my father died, he took over the running of the fortress and the village.
Older than you? Sorry.
No, I was just a boy then, and I wasn't much interested in such. Otmar wanted me to be chaplain of the church in Holohlavi. But ever since I heard the stories of King Arthur as a child, I knew I'd be a knight.
You are one now, though.
I don't mean by title. I'm talking about battles and tournaments and romance. Anyway, I soon abandoned my studies and began getting somewhere with a sword in my hand.
Well, your brother meant well.
That sounds nice. Otmar needed to secure his position because the church owns a lot of land in Holohlavi. He didn't care about me at all. But no matter, I'm happier like this anyway. Or at least I used to be. Otmar gave me the armor and the horse.
Really? Why would he do that?
After I ran away, I struggled and rarely had 2 groschen to rub together. Otmar found out about it and tracked me down. I was afraid that he would drag me home and force me to go back to my studies. But instead, he gave me armor and his best horse and told me to go and be a knight if I must, but not to return home.
Don't worry. You'll get your things back.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Truly.
Herzlich willkommen.
I'm looking for a wandering man at arms. He's Polish, so he doesn't speak our language, but he still just won't shut up. He's called...
Adder.
Aye.
Don't even remind me of him.
Did something happen?
To me? Nine. Quite the contrary. We knocked back a nice few cold ones last night. And I have Kopfschmerzen all day. It's all his mate's fault. As soon as the Poles saw him, they greeted each other and then things went to shit. They didn't pass out until...
Do you know where Adder is now?
You should ask the butcher's wife.
So where is the local...
If you go to the village from here, the butcher's Grundstück is the very last one.
I'll go to see her.
You should be careful. The butcher does not like...
Where can I find this Raniek?
Try asking the man who paid for his losses yesterday.
Was he broke?
He lost a small fortune here yesterday. It looked like he was going to get a nice beating because he lost more than he had. But a bunch of Kerle from Bilani, who also came to play, lent him some coin.
And do you know where I could find these men from Bilani?
In Bilani. Nichts? It probably sounded funnier in my head. If I were you, I would ask the Bilani innkeeper. With luck, you will run into them right...
I'll be on my...
Nichts zu danken. Was möchtest du?
What do you have?
Danke und viel Glück für die Zukunft, mein Herr.
I'll have a look at the...
Danke, das war ein gutes Geschäft, mein Herr.
Where can I...
Our guest rooms are on the first floor. You'll recognize...
I'd love to take her for a ride.
My thoughts exactly. And while we're at it, her arse ain't too bad either.
Sucker. I've got a hankering for her just talking.
Careful.
Good doggy, good boy.
Christ, it's hot out.
Ka! Ka!
Whoa!
Ka! Quick!
Whoa!
God bless you.
Did you see a lad named Ranyak around here? He's a passionate gambler.
Aye. I suppose he was here. What about him?
Do you know where Ranyak is now?
No. But try asking the dice players. He played with them all night long. Maybe he told them where he was headed.
Are the dice players...
That's them. At that table, over there. The devil knows where they get their money from. Farewell, sir.
I Ludva threw a 5 that one time, then another 5 and a 1. I threw 3 2s, but I took a 1 and threw again. But then he got
What a
2
day
1s
that
and a
was.
6.